Mm. What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Leo, and welcome to the bird section. Oh, so lots happening. I'll be honest with y'all. Wasn't planning on doing this at this time. I really wasn't. I really had no intentions on coming on here at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Monday, on Columbus Day to to, to fellowship with y'all. But so many things are happening in the league right now, you know what I'm saying, that it's important, especially things concerning the Philadelphia Eagles. Well, I had to get on. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So first things first, you know, shout out and congratulations to Zadarius Smith, who has decided to call it a career. The Philadelphia Eagles momentary pass rusher abruptly retired today. Um, don't know what's going on. I do know that it actually has nothing to do with the team. You know what I'm saying? It has everything to do with something personal with him. So um, if anything, let's hope that it's hey, keep him in your prayers. You know what I'm saying? But thank you for what you've done and what you've done for the game. Congratulations on a job well done in terms of just a career. For as long as you stayed in the league. So good job on that. Now what does that mean for the Eagles and our pass rush? It thins us out a bit. But what's interesting is that I'm an Eagles fan. So as an Eagles fan, I get to do so. And listen, y'all, if you haven't done so already, please hook your boy up. Hit the like and subscribe button. Let me know how y'all feeling. Because like I said, I wasn't planning on coming on here. Okay. But with Zadarius Smith retiring, and then you figure, I didn't see the Dallas Cowboys losing yesterday, and so my response to that was, okay, so now that made me feel a little bit better about last week about losing to the Giants, and so now I would just say to that fan base, so Dallas, how about from this point on moving forward, you concern yourself, Dallas Cowboy fans, you concern yourself about what's going on in Dallas and don't worry about manufacturing controversy with our team. You know what I'm saying? AJ ain't going nowhere. Jalen's fine. You just worry about your team. Okay. We'll worry about ours. All right. We'll worry about us and we'll just keep it on us and y'all just keep it on y'all. That's the way I view, yesterday's loss. And Lord knows if if all goes according to plan, should the Commanders lose tonight, which I'm hoping they will, if they lose tonight, then nothing changes. Nothing would change because we'll still be first in the division. Everybody be 4-2. The only and the 1-5-1 team in the NFC we beat. So we'll still be first in the division, all that good stuff. So it wouldn't be, like a loss like against the Giants, you know, may not be so bad in terms of, what the Julie, what's up? I'm sorry, I just saw that. Okay. My Jalen Hurts to play so limit. Damn, it's the fun out of the Cowboys after effortless, then act the crybaby when things isn't going so good. Okay, hold on. My Jalen Hurts to play so limit. Damn it, the fun out the Cowboys after the effortless, then act the crybaby when things isn't going so good. So, uh, uh who's acting the crybaby? I'm sorry, Julie. I'm a little confused. Julie Kurtz, help me out. Julie, I'm sorry, Julius Kurtz, help me out. What like who's the crybaby? That's I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out. So like Jalen Hurts playing so limit. Okay, I guess I don't know. All I know is what I'm saying. We got our own issues that we need to figure out on our team. Especially when you look at our defense. with Quinyon Mitchell out, for however long he's going to be out, if any, this little mini bye couldn't have come at a better time. I'm hoping guys is getting treatment and all that stuff, and we'll figure out some things. Nakobe Dean will be back. He's practicing fully now, so I heard he got a couple reps on Sunday on special teams, so he was out there running around. So he got to do some things, and I think they're just going to slowly try to work him back, slowly back into the defense. So we'll see. The Philly Cam, the Cowboys lost yesterday. That made me feel better. Hey, Philly Cam, I'm so there with you right now. That's all it did. It just made me feel a little bit better. That's it. Like, oh, okay. Because the first thing I thought was, all right, so now Cowboy fans can leave me alone for the rest of the week. That's how I saw it. Like, I ain't got to worry about y'all talking shit to me. You know what I'm saying? And and for some odd reason, and here's the crazy part, for some odd reason, Giants fans talking shit just don't bother me. It really don't. It just don't bother me. I don't know why. I don't really care. I guess it's only, why it don't bother me? Because I don't have to feel like this for a very long time. We get to see them in 2 weeks. I think that's what it is. I think that's what it's doing to me. I think it's just desensitized me because I know we're going to hurry up and fix this. They got to come to our house in 2 weeks. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Will we have fixed it? Our issues. You know what I'm saying? Because see, the thing is one of the interesting things, and I tried to tell this to people last year, Lane Johnson coming out and saying, we're too predictable and defenses know what we're doing and all this other stuff, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so here's my take on that. Okay. Lane Johnson happens to be one of those players on the team that he don't say nothing. You never really hear him say anything. Lane Johnson don't do that. You know what I'm saying? He's not much of a talker. You know what I'm saying? And when you hear him say something, you know what I'm saying? Like me personally, I tend to take it as seriously as I take it when you hear Jeffrey Lurie say some shit like, "I want to have a meeting." Like that ain't good. And so my thought process is that whoever the decision makers are, and I don't need to go over the names and stuff like that. I'm gonna just say this, when Lane Johnson says something, y'all should listen to him. Y'all should listen to him because he don't say nothing. That's the problem. That's the problem. I do believe that everything that is happening, the things that are wrong with the team, I do believe it's my contention that it's all fixable. Okay, I do. I really believe that it can all be fixed. The thing is, though, is that will it be fixed is a different story because again, I think the issues that are going on with our offense has everything to do with the play calling. Emmanuel Acho did a really good piece on what's the predictability of the Eagles offensive plays, based off of just a couple of formations and that's it. And I believe it. I believe everything that he said. And if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's a really good piece. Okay. And so, okay. Like if you haven't seen that, go ahead and go check it out. It's a really good piece. Emmanuel Acho did his thing. I learned a lot. And excuse me for this, y'all. I'm just trying to grab something from out of here, and the camera's on it real quick. So excuse me. Hold on, there we go. Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. There we go. Yeah, so if you haven't done so already, go check out Emmanuel Acho's take on, like what he sees as the issues plaguing the Philadelphia Eagles offense. but again, fixable. What else are my concerns? I am concerned about whether or not our secondary. Oh, 2 runs, 1 formation is so bad, bro. Yup. Coach Nick, Julius Kurtz said, Coach Nick. Oh my. Okay, I think he's calling Nick Sirianni a crybaby. I'm not sure. Hey Julius, write that whole thing over again, but think about the way you're wording it because it's got me confused and I have no idea what you mean by that. All right, I want to understand you, but I just don't. Okay. Yeah, Philly Cam, 2 runs, 1 formation is so bad, bro. Yeah, that that leads me to think that it has something to do with Kevin Patullo and Nick Sirianni. Just one, if not both of them. Just the inability to be creative when it comes to having an offensive, an offense built like this. You know what I'm saying? And you don't know what to do. Just a bit, you only come up with a couple of different looks with this offense with all this talent. You know what I'm saying? Like, if your philosophy is for this season was contribution over credit, okay, there you go. You know what I'm saying? There you go. You need to figure this out, Nick, for real. You and KP need to put your heads together, or you and Howie need to put your heads together and go get somebody to help KP because he don't know what he's doing, or you don't know what you. Either way, y'all, we need help. Okay, if this is the best you could do, when an ESPN analyst, a former ESPN analyst and former player, can take a look at the film and pick apart this offense and give a lot more color to what Lane Johnson was saying. Okay, Julius, here we go. I don't like how Coach Nick act like a crybaby when things are going so good. The way the play last was effortless. Okay, got you. I'll say this. I learned my lesson last year with that. And let me tell you why. Because I was one of those people who was saying, like I said, our coach is a 14-year-old. We got a 14-year-old for a head coach. You know what I'm saying? Because of the way he was acting towards the crowd, and going back at the crowd. And I kept saying that's not good. You know what I'm saying? Especially that don't work in Philly. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Now, I still stick to those comments, but now I'm just like, okay, he won us a Super Bowl. Let me give him some grace. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm exercising right now. I'm exercising a bit of grace. But what I will say this is that the thing that I don't like about Nick Sirianni is when he's in front of the cameras and he's talking, and I get it. You don't like being in front of reporters. I just hate that the answers that a lot of times when it's a fucked up question, or if the answer would be fucked up, I just hate when he says a whole bunch of words that have nothing to do with the question. It's just a whole bunch of dialogue because I take it as an insult to my intelligence. You're just talking to be talking. See, if anything, like if you want to know how best to take accountability, just go look at Mike Tomlin. You know what I'm saying? Mike Tomlin does not bullshit around. He does not. He'll tell you straight up. Yes, this was a shit sandwich, and I have to eat it because I made it. I didn't do good with getting my coaches ready. I didn't do good with getting my players ready. But we will fix this. Blah 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 blah. Boom. There you go. I love that. It was effortless. Lost Coach Nick acting like a crybaby when things were not going good. Okay. Yeah, I got you, Julius. I got you. You know what I'm saying? I got you. Oh, you know what I'm saying? So there you go. But I'm worried about our secondary now too, as well. Because with Q down, you know what I'm saying? So what do we do? This is where the decision not to bring Isaiah Rodgers back comes back to bite us in the ass. But we can't harp on that because that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? He's in Minnesota now. We're gonna see him next weekend. You know what I'm saying? So we can't get stuck on that. What do we do? You know, do you move Cooper down into the opposite side of where Quinion would have been? You know, and then hopefully between Keely and Adoree, somebody, you know, and you bring Andrew Mukuba down to help out in the slot. Like, how do we, you know, so there's a bunch of combinations that we'll probably spend the rest of the week trying to figure out. You know what I'm saying? Keely and Adoree, y'all better hurry the fuck up. And then hopefully maybe Jacorian Bennett is out there. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would like to see. You know what I'm saying? I would, you know, that's what I'm hoping comes about during the course of this next week or so. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully Jacorian Bennett's able to get on the practice field, maybe get in there too. And then also, you know, the Zadarius Smith retirement didn't help our pass rush. You know what I'm saying? So that leaves us with Uche, Ojulari. Nope, we lost a Gronko. Who else do we have? You know, I'm trying to think. Hold on. I could tell y'all. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so here we got, oh, damn, yeah. It's Jalix Hunt, Patrick Johnson, Azeez Ojulari, and Joshua Uche. Not very inspiring. Yeah. Out of those 4 players all together this year have a have 1 sack. Not each, just 1 out of the 4 of them. So, and I know that whatever's going on with Zadarius Smith, it ain't got nothing to do with the Eagles. So it's something personal. I don't know what it could be. You know. So, oh y'all, hold on. Come on. That's what this season will do to you. Dry you to smoke. It'll get you going. So yeah, y'all. I can't believe some of these Eagle fans. Philly Cam. Hold on. I can't believe some of these Eagle fans are saying bench Jalen and put McKee in. Oh. Okay. Okay. This is what we do, y'all. This is exactly what we do. We hit panic too quick. Philly Cam, listen. Do you know what we look like? We look like a team who has a first-time offensive coordinator. That's what we look like. And he may not be good. That's all. That's what we look like. We have a Ferrari and the guy don't know how to drive. No one talk, you know what I'm saying? So But I feel you on that though, Philly Cam. I do. I really feel you on that. You're right. That's what we look like. You know what I'm saying? So I like that's what some of these people do. You know what I'm saying? Bench Jalen, you know, Trey AJ, you know, Saquon's hurt, you know, and it's like, nah. Nah. You know what I'm saying? I even had to tell one dude, you know, like, hey, realize something. You know what I'm saying? You have something that a lot of these teams don't have. It's like, what's that? And I was like, you have Howie Roseman. You know what I'm saying? You got Jeff Stoutland. You know what I'm saying? You got things that they don't have that I have the supreme confidence that I'm sure Howie's on the phone right now. And I've been telling I told a couple of my boys earlier today, you know what I'm saying? I was like, look, with the trade deadline coming up, you got some teams right now who like, we might be in a bit of a fire sale. You know what I'm saying? We might be, you know, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? What you got? You know, let's go check some of these one win teams out. Mm-hmm. There might be some players that's available you didn't know was available. You know what I'm saying? This is when that shit happens. You know what I'm saying? This is around that time. Isn't this around the time when we ended up with my man from Miami that won the Super Bowl with us, the first one? Oh Jesus Christ, what is his name? Oh, this is so wrong. Not LeGarrette Blount, but what was the other running back? The dude that came in from Miami. Um. Oh God. Hey y'all, do me a favor. Again, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already. But remind me who the running back was for the Eagles when we won the Super Bowl that came from Miami. Not LeGarrette Blount, but the other dude. Oh man. I cannot remember his name. That's a damn shame. Jay Ajayi. Bando, two penthouses. You are the bomb.com. Appreciate you. Jay Ajayi. Yes. So I'm thinking we're probably gonna have to do something along them type of lines. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to go get some people, you know what I'm saying, and make some splashes that way or whatever. Who's still available? Who might be available that wasn't available, that wasn't listed as available? You know what I'm saying? Like I told my man, go take a look at the Jets roster, and then go look at the other teams that are 1-5 or 0-5 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? 0-6. You might find some players. You might find out some people. You got people saying, you know, go ahead and go sign CJ off of Baltimore's practice squad. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. I wouldn't be mad if they did that. Nah, seriously, I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? But again, you know, I want to see some activity. I'm anticipating some more activity. You know, again, I get to live with the fact that I have Howie Roseman as my GM. So, you know, start paying attention to these teams. Start looking at these rosters where teams are like 1-5 or are clearly in rebuild mode. You see what I'm saying? Like those teams who are actively rebuilding and are going to start jettisoning, you know what I'm saying, you know, assets to try to, you know, pick up more draft capital. Here's where having all those draft picks starts to come into play for us. You know what I'm saying? So we can mix and match and play during the trade deadline, which is, well, sure, what Howie's doing right now. And then in regards to the offensive line, too, because the offensive line isn't being used correctly, in my opinion. You know, and I kept saying that, you know, Emmanuel Acho kind of makes me feel a lot better about the things I was saying, especially with not seeing those guys pull as much as we saw last year. You know, things like that I'd like to see happen. I've been saying that, and I've been saying, you know, like one of the things I notice is that the way the play calling goes, you know, from one way to another, from one end of the spectrum to the other on the half. You know, and it's like, what? You know, so yeah, you know, I think we do need some help on the offensive calling, you know, play calling. If they brought someone in, it'd be nice if they brought in someone with some who's pretty long in the tooth at this point and that would know what to do. Philly Cam says the way how Cowboy fans bitch about their defense, it's the same way how we complain about our offense. Hold on, Philly Cam. Let me think about that. No, it's not. Because they are we you know, like Dallas fans are, and this is, you know, this is just an assessment. I'm not trolling here, okay? I'm not trolling. But Dallas fans will try to convince you of something that's not there. We're not trying to do that. Everyone sees everyone sees it, including you. You see it too. The problem is that, and here's what everyone is saying. Everyone is saying, wait till they get their shit together. Oh my God. Everyone sees us. They look at our team and they go, these dudes they're not playing to their potential because they ain't got their shit together. But when they do, so let me get this win right now. Let me go get a win right now before while they still ain't got their shit together. Because when these motherfuckers get their shit together, oh boy, that's what it is. That's how they talking about us. That's how they think of us. You know what I'm saying? Everyone sees the potential. Everyone sees we haven't, you know, I mean, hey, how long have we do you guys realize, even with these 2 losses and these wins and everything like that, do y'all realize we have played more games, back-to-back games, even in losses, with our full complement of weaponry? Both AJ and Devontae and Dallas and Saquon and Jalen. They're all playing. You know what I'm saying? Who has not missed a game yet? Who has missed a game? None of them, right? No, Dallas did. Dallas missed 1 game. But I'm saying though, you know what I'm saying? And then when I look at this defense, you know what I'm saying? I really do think that the defense is going to be this defense this year is going to be better than last year. And I realize that's a lot after watching that defensive performance over the weekend and everything like that. But believe me, you know what I'm saying? All we got to do is we just get our pass rush. You know what I'm saying? That's where it's going to be at. You know what I'm saying? And if we can't get, we got Nolan to be back next month. N'Kobe's coming back. You know what I'm saying? So I believe our ability to, stop the run and also our pass rush, if they can figure out a way to get Nolan, Jahad Campbell, and Zach Bond on this field together. So nah, Philly Cam, I can't co-sign that the way because Cowboys fans bitch about their defense. You know what I'm saying? Their defense isn't. They didn't bring back a plethora of talent on their defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know they try to convince people that their defense is good, but talent wise, no. You know what I'm saying? So and in comparison to, just so you know, like, we brought back 10 out of 11 starters on our offense. You know what I'm saying? The only person that didn't come back is Mekhi. You know what I'm saying? And I really do believe that the other problem that we have with our offensive line has everything to do with probably with the fact that they have been playing, like they didn't get a long off season. I really do think there's something to that. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at the injuries on our O line, you know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, guys are going down. But then, and here's the thing, Mekhi Becton is too. So I don't know when people say, "Oh, y'all missing Mekhi." I don't know. Mekhi might be hurt here like he is there right now too. You know what I'm saying? That I'm really starting to think that now. Like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? These guys got finished playing. They played their last game on February 9th and then was back at it again in April. They ain't getting no time off. You know what I'm saying? They ain't get as much time off. That's why I respect what the Kansas City Chiefs did a whole lot more than and what the New England Patriots were able to do. I respect it now. Now I really understand, like, the thing that make it hard too. Like, this shit is hard. And mind you, Saquon ran for 2,000 last year. He the only one that got pep in his step. You know what I'm saying? It's the O-line. That's who we're the effect of playing as long as we did, as much as we did. The effect is more on the O-line than anybody else physically. And you could tell just by looking at, and it's and I know and the fact that Mekhi Becton is just as banged up as the rest of these guys out there in LA lets me know. I think there's something to it. So I'm not even, but listen, y'all, again, you know what I'm saying? You know what your man's and them needs at this point, right? I need y'all to hit that like and subscribe button. Hold on for a second. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, I really need y'all to hit that. Yeah, good looking out. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be doing something later on today. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be doing something with the Eagles Collective podcast. Philly Can said I was talking mad shit yesterday to Mark in his chat, and he blocked me. Hey, Philly can't. Philly can't listen, right? So here's the problem, right? It was Mark's birthday. That's the thing. It was Mark's birthday. You know what I'm saying? Well, yeah, he turns the big 60. He's 60. You know what I mean? So if you think about it, you know, he was having a blast. Okay. We lost 2 games in a row. Okay. All right. We lost to the Giants. And think about all the cash shit he talked from that point on to yesterday. All right. Cash shit. Big shit, right? Okay. And then you see what happened. You know what I'm saying? And then that's so it just, like you talking shit to him just probably came at the worst time. It just ruined his birthday. You know what I'm saying? So, but I had a chance to get at him, but I wanted to play it classy. You know what I'm saying? I really wanted. I thought I was playing it classy. You know what I'm saying? By just saying, hey, look, how about y'all just worry about what's happening in your house, and we'll worry about what's happening in our house, and keep it at that, rather than sit here and try to manufacture controversy for our teams. You know what I'm saying? Saying shit is there that ain't there or whatever. And I even had to explain to them what that meant when I say manufacture controversy, because I was like, yo, AJ Brown's not being traded. You know what I'm saying? He's not acting like a D. He's not doing all the things that y'all saying. Jalen Hurts is all that. How about we stop? Okay. How about we stop? You got people on wild goose chases, thinking that's what's going on because of the way you're characterizing things. So, little G Griffin, I'm a big fan of Eagles season. Better Eagles kick Vikings, but I appreciate you. And another test. This is a big test. You know what I'm saying? Are we playing? Is Carson playing? What's the word? What is the word? Because they're coming off a Are they coming off a bye? Yeah, they had an early bye. So Vikings QB situation murky ahead of game against Eagles. Wow. Okay, so JJ is still dealing with that ankle injury, and Carson's shoulder is hurt. Uh, I'm just looking at this. Okay, so they're saying it's JJ's mobility. They just want to know if he's good. If he's good, they say he says he can go. Okay, yeah, I don't see anything on here. Philly 500 streams are always funny, are always entertaining when the Cowboys lose, because he's doing it right there. Okay, he's doing it right there. Like he's there. And this is the stuff that like um I could have said a lot, but I just like I said, I wanted to try to keep it classy. You know what I'm saying? In the midst of it all, the way I categorized it, Philly Can was because listen, Philly Can, he had a dude on there. His name is Lloyd, right? And this dude, I do not remember. I know he has a podcast, and I'll tell you what it is when I can think of it. But this dude, this dude was so mad. Okay, Mark was pissed. They were pissed, and he was so mad. And I'm sitting there, and I'm just like this. I ain't said a word. You know what I'm saying? And my man is going off about the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, he was pissed. He was beyond pistivity. And I'm just sitting there looking, and he was like, "And Leo, don't you be trying to tell me?" I was like, "Oh, wait." he he said, I see you looking. I see how you looking. I was like, that's all I'm doing. I was like, have you ever been to a sleepover? He was like, yeah. I was like, all right, you ever been to a sleepover and the person whose house you're at, that person get their ass whooped by their parents for doing something in front of everybody, something that he shouldn't have been doing? Isn't that the most awkward feeling ever? He was like, I was like, okay, so what the fuck do you think I'm doing? I'm just standing to the side. Y'all whooping y'all team's ass. I ain't got to say shit. I ain't trying to say shit. He started laughing because that's what I felt like. I was like, look, this is in-house shit. I ain't saying nothing. I'm just looking and laughing, but I ain't saying shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got it. It ain't my place. But so how about you worry about what's going on in your house? I'll worry about what's going on in mine. I ain't saying shit. I see it, but I ain't saying nothing. Philly can, what you do is you say something. You say something. And you do it when you know they are hypersensitive to suggestion. You like you like shaking the damn, you like shaking the box up and shit, getting them stirred up. That's your problem. That's why. Me, I just like the I like going on Mark and them show because first of all, Mark and them, you know, I love Mark. That's my man. You know what I'm saying? And all them crazy ass Cowboy fans, which is why I did this podcast, why I started this, because they would say to me when I first started going on there, right? They would say things to me like, "You an Eagles fan? This a Cowboys channel. Why you here?" That's how they would talk to me. Why you on here? Why are you here? You an Eagle? Don't you got your own? You an Eagles fan? Why are you here? And I would sit there and I would, you know, and I'm being, you know, at first I was being very respectful because I would say, hey, I recognize this is a Cowboys channel, a Cowboys safe space. So I'm not here to troll. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to have an intellectual conversation about the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys, about football. At the end of the day, we all like football. And besides, who wants to continuously talk to the peanut gallery? I don't need a peanut gallery. I want to talk to other people. But then let me tell you, they started talking big shit and big and then they those folks on that channel started teasing me when we hired Kellen Moore. When we hired Kellen Moore, oh, Philly Cam, they was giving it to me. They was going in on me about that. You're gonna get Kellen Moore. Ha 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 ha. You know what I'm saying? I'm up here talking about tell me more. And okay, and I was like, hey, what happens? What if Kellen Moore ain't never had an offense with this much talent before? What happens if he wins the Super Bowl? You're not gonna win the Super Bowl. He's gonna be the reason why y'all fuck up. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Well, lo and behold, look what happened. And the best part is that we have footage because all you have to do is go back and look at the off seasons, you know, footage, and it's all there. Them telling me, giving me, going in on me. So it's interesting, you know what I'm saying? So now I like going back on there because it's like you said, they talk the biggest shit, and it always comes back to bite them in the ass all the time. And here's the thing. I talk big shit and they love for it to come back to bite me in the ass. So these last two back-to-back losses, come on. Come on. They are riding pretty right now. That's what was going on. That's what was happening. That was where they were in their way of thinking when it came to how I am, you know, approaching things when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles. It's funny as hell. It's so funny. Okay, really it is. You know what I'm saying? So Philly fun. Okay, yeah. So, you know, that's Philly can I would say that's what you gotta take into consideration, particularly when it comes to talking with Mark. And like you catch them at the wrong time when they are hyper sensitive to suggestion. You gotta stop doing that. I know it's fun. I know it's fun, but you gotta stop doing that because you don't get to come back. That's the problem. You don't get to come back. See, I like doing it in ways where it's just like, my jabs, like seldom do I go in on them like that, you know what I'm saying? Because they just can't stand it because I treat them like the losers that they are. I tell them, loser mentality. Oh, you don't know what it's like to be a winner in the modern era. Your championship way of thinking is from the late 1900s. It predates the internet, which it does. You know what I'm saying? There are more half your fan base wasn't alive the last time they won a Super Bowl, so they can't even tell you about it. And like they're the most rabid because this is an instant gratification society, and they have been denied the gratification of being a winner. You know what I'm saying? What up, Drew? What up, champ? You know what I'm saying? Hey, I had to. You know what? I'm sorry, Drew. I forgot to text you and tell you I was on here. Yeah, man. I had to get on this piece and speak my truth, man. And get it out so that these folks. Hold on for a second. Okay. Hold on. There we go. Boom. There you go. There you go. Drew, hop in if you can. I just texted to you. Hop in if you can. You know what I'm saying? If you can't, don't even worry about it. But I just text you the link. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, yeah. Oh, okay. There he is. There he is. What up, dog? Hold on, you're muted. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. What up, dog?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm at work, bro, so I just jump on real quick.
It's all good. Hey, look, get it out. Get it out. What you want the people to know? Get it out. Tell them what your thoughts are on the team. They've been listening to me for the
Yeah,
last 42 minutes.
I'll say this, man. It's a bit frustrating, of course, because this is something that we're not used to. You know, we're not used to losing, especially losing two in a row, right? And it's evident even by how the teams in our division, their fan base is even reacting. They're not used to seeing this like this.
That's
But
true.
if you, I keep seeing this, there's some concern, but yet at the same time, be optimistic because we know that the foundation that this team was built on
Uh-huh.
is a foundation of championship understanding, championship mentality. So, we as a fan base have confidence to know that we know that the Eagles are definitely going to do whatever it takes to put ourselves back in contention for the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? And I think we bounce back this weekend, we get healthy, get things back on track. I'm excited about this week to see how this team responds.
Mm. Well, I think that, again, one, we're not hampered by major injuries. Not to say that injuries aren't an issue. It's just not in a way that a lot of other teams are having to deal with. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you take into account, where we're going to be at, and the next, like right now, we need to go into the bye 6-2. Period. We need to get to the bye 6-2. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Once we do that, and Philly Cam said that they keep bringing up the Giants loss yesterday, and I kept saying I'm over it because they lost. But you're right, I have to calm down. And I'm like, yeah, like, look, man, Drew, ask yourself this, right? If should the Commanders lose tonight, right? Will this not be the best two game losing streak we've ever had in our history?
Absolutely.
And you know why I'm saying that,
Absolutely.
right? Because if the Commanders lose tonight, then nothing changes. we'll still be first in the division. You know what I'm saying? We'll still be, you know what I'm saying? We'll still be look, we'll still have somewhat of a not a big cushion or whatever, but there'll still be some distance between us and everybody else in the division, including the Giants having just beat us. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, come on, we know the way Cam Scatterboo and Jackson Dart are playing, this is not sustainable. You got away with one on us. You did. You know what I'm saying? I give you that. And on top of that, we're finding out about ourselves in light of the fact that we are so light at edge. You know what I'm saying? With Zadarius Smith retiring. You know what I'm saying? Now it's just Uche, Ojolari, Hunt. You know what I'm saying? You know, eventually Nolan Smith will be back. You know what I'm saying? Then we get into Kobe Dean on the field. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Hopefully, maybe, you know, at some point, you know, I don't even know what the situation is with Quinyon Mitchell. You know what I'm saying?
right.
You know, like, is this going to be a lingering thing? Is he going to be, you know, is he one of
Typically,
those?
hamstrings can be. They
Yeah,
can be, depending
yeah.
on the severity of it.
You know, so will this little mini buy have served him well to get treatment? Did he, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, shut him down just to keep him ready, you know, keep him upright, get him ready for the next game. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. You know what I'm saying? This little mini buy couldn't have come at a better time, if you ask me.
No, I agree. And, you know, I think we overestimated the division. I think the division is weak. I think Dallas is still not a good
I think
football
so
team.
too. I agree with you
I
on that.
think the
I agree.
Giants are not a good football team, but you can see where they're starting to ascend. And I think you and I both talked about them being close in the rearview mirror. I think that's legitimate because they have some talent, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Washington is our biggest contender, so them losing would definitely be like a tremendous setback for them and a help for us. But even with them winning, like I was telling somebody on Game Time Brian's channel yesterday, they were asking like about this, you know, oh, you should be cheering for us for us to beat Washington next week. And I was like, it really don't matter to me who wins next week. I'm more concerned what we need to do
Mm-hmm.
because when this team gets back on, when we get back hitting on all cylinders, then nobody can beat us. So I really don't care what
Absolutely.
Dallas or Washington does next week. It really doesn't matter. You know, it really doesn't matter to
I
me
get what you're saying.
what Chicago and Washington does tonight. It's about the Eagles getting back hitting on all cylinders because when they do, can't nobody touch us. And you know, you may say it sounds arrogant, but no, it's just a
No, it's the
fact.
truth.
It's just a
It's the truth.
fact. Like,
Yeah,
you know
I
what I'm
looked
saying?
at I told you what it was. I mean, you know what I did and everything like that. And I still stick to it. I'm just like, yo, I'm looking at these other teams and I'm just like, yes, y'all got good, but y'all not better than us.
No. And we saw it
Y'all are
last night.
good. You're just not better than us. That's all I'm
We
saying.
saw it last night. Everybody was saying, "Oh, Detroit, Detroit, Detroit." Now we went up in KC and we packed them up. They went into KC and we saw what happens. So when the Eagles are hitting on all cylinders, can't nobody touch us. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And nothing for nothing. They still that was a KC team who was still short staffed.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And we're not
Like
going to use
you didn't get
excuses because we
you
could have
didn't
said
get
the same thing about
KC.
us on Thursday. We could have said that on Thursday. We didn't have, but see, I don't like to use those excuses like Dallas Cowboys. Oh,
No,
we got this
I'm
person
saying
hurt, that person hurt. Nah,
no, I'm saying Detroit faced a short staff team, just like we
yep,
did.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what they did to you when they're
Yeah,
short staff.
exactly.
Okay, got it. You know what I'm saying? You know, got it. Like like shit like we like that yesterday lets us know that, you know what I'm saying, this is really going to come down to at the end of the year. This is going to come close. We're going to have to probably play out the whole year.
Oh, for sure, for
You know what
sure,
I'm saying? We're going to
for
have to
sure.
play out that we're not going to be resting anybody when we play Buffalo.
Nah,
You know what I'm
nah.
saying? We're not going to be
Or Washington.
yeah, or watch, you know, like we're not going to be resting anybody. Like everybody's going to have to play because again, you know, like what I'm most concerned with at this time is top seed.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying?
But
I'm
see,
looking at
but,
top seed.
but Leo, here's what. people are not taking into account. I'm
Mhm.
sure you have, but people are looking at, oh, the Eagles have lost 2 games in a row. But if you look at what we've done, we're 4-2. We beat Tampa Bay. They're 5-1.
Yep, we own a tiebreaker on them.
We beat the Rams.
We
They're
own a
3-2.
tiebreaker on them.
Okay.
Yep,
We beat Dallas. I think we still gonna sweep Dallas,
yep,
right?
yep.
And so the two teams that we've taken losses to is what,
One is the
Denver
non-conference, which would be the
and then Denver, and then the
Denver. Yep.
Giants, which if we're handling our business, should not affect us in the least. You know what I mean? So I think that again, we're in a position that we put ourselves in, even not playing at our top, uh, where we should be. We still handling business. And here's another thing: people don't sleep on Kansas City. That's a Hall of Fame head coach there. That's a Hall of Fame defensive coordinator. That's a Hall of Fame quarterback. So even if they're short-handed, they're well coached. That's a great defense over there. So us going into Kansas City and beating them is no small feat at all.
And we would have. It goes back to what I pointed out to before. We would have more likely. There's a very high likelihood that majority of the people we're going to have to play in the playoffs, including the Super Bowl, we would have had seen in it during the regular season,
Exactly.
which would make repeating, what I'm saying, this particular championship would be the most undisputed championship in the history of championships, only because we had to play everybody in playoffs. We played them in the regular season too, so we played them twice.
Yeah.
You had two shots at us. You had two
Yeah.
shots at us. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So my man Philly Cam says. So is it safe to say that Mahomes and the Chiefs are back? Yeah, but I don't see them making it to the Super Bowl. Honestly, I think it's Buffalo. I think it's like right now when I look at the AFC and I see as it is built currently and the way I think it'll be Buffalo and Kansas City in the AFC championship game for sure. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of, looking at the teams as they currently are, I just think that Buffalo is like looking at the pathway, it's too easy for it's the Super Bowl. Getting to the Super Bowl is just it's not going to be that bad for them.
I
They're
would agree with you. I would just say until Josh and Buffalo beats Mahomes in Kansas City, I still got to give the edge to KC. You know what I mean? Because Josh and them, they got to go take that. The last few
I
years, they met
I
in the
I I,
AFC.
I think it's, but I feel like they're playing with that level of confidence too. I don't think I
I
don't
would
think
agree.
people I don't think people are as scared of them as they used to be. That's because of
Nah,
us.
nah.
I think we
Yeah,
gave everybody. I think we gave the whole league the fucking
the
blueprint
blueprint.
on
Yeah,
what to
for
do,
sure.
on how to beat the fucking Kansas City Chiefs. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
All you got
No
to do
doubt.
is punch Pat in his face a couple of times and call it a motherfucking day. Honestly,
Apply pressure.
yeah,
Apply
that's
pressure.
it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what you know me. I'm big on the whole goons. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Mm,
Yep. Hey, I got to jump off here, man. I just wanted to jump on.
no
Holler
doubt.
at you. I think we're gonna be good this week. It's the bounce back. Let's do what we need to do. Man. I appreciate you, bro.
No doubt, brother, man. We'll be talking again. I'm gonna go on
No
later
doubt.
on with Warren to do with the Eagles Collective podcast.
Okay, I look forward to it.
All right.
All right, peace out,
All
brother.
right, later, man.
First.
Go Birds. You know what I'm saying? So with that, y'all, that was my man Eagles Drew. Appreciate him jumping on. You know what I'm saying? Always a class act when he comes here. So, look, y'all, we'll check. I'll be back on later on tonight with the Eagles Collective podcast sometime after 7. We'll probably do it like around 8, 9 o'clock, see what happens. All right. With that, I'll say I'll see y'all later. And don't forget, everybody's welcome at the bird section. Oh! Hit that like and subscribe button. Peace.